Today, I'm in Salem Riverfront Park, waiting for a regional bus, so I decided I'd come and take a walk through the park. Incidentally, if you need to pump up your bicycle, the park has facilities to do that, along with many other facilities. There are also riverboat excursions, I think pretty short distance, that lead from the park. It looks like it's not beyond. And I'm not doing that today, but it does seem like that would be a fun thing to do. So I've been to this park a couple times. First time was actually over 2 years ago, on my birthday in 2021. But at the time, that wasn't the focus of the video. And today I had a chance to see it, even though it's raining. Raining in Oregon in autumn. What a surprise. And so one thing about this park is it is an event and facility park. You can see over there, for example, there's a playground. There's a very wide path here. A lot of cruising, cycling, people out walking their dogs, that type of thing. Rain on my lens. Continue that way, you can see there's a bridge, and that leads to the Minto Brown Park, which is a natural area. But this is a park more for socialization, I guess I'd say. And in fact, even on the website, it says this is an event park. So a lot of these facilities, like this shelter here, people can rent to have events. And it's right next to downtown Salem over there, if you can see that. So this is more like an event park, but it does have a lot of facilities and is close to some natural areas. So here we are in the amphitheater. Interesting architectural choices, but probably fitting. And over there we have this globe sculpture. So when they made this park, especially compared to the Corvallis, Riverfront Park, it's a lot more manicured. There's a lot more facilities and art and decoration. And then if you do want to go to a natural park, Minto Brown, which is pretty extensive, is over across that bridge. Here are our 4 pillars: friendship, truth, fairness, goodwill. That's important to remember. So an interesting thing for me is when I was a teenager, which is almost 30 years ago now, like 1996 when I was going to Chemeketa, is one of our pillars not jumping off of things? I don't think it is. So when I was, 1996, community college student, I'd go and hang around Salem a lot, and I actually have a blank slate about what was here, because I think this park is pretty new. I think it came in sometime in the turn of the century, around 2000. And I remember going and walking along Salem and walking along the river and going under bridges, and it was all scrappy, and I probably shouldn't have been there. So I don't actually know when this was built and when Salem started to change. And for me, that's kind of interesting because, like I said, I spent a lot of time in Salem, used to go to school here. But a lot of Salem, it's kind of like this blank spot in my brain. And maybe that's unfair to Salem because, as you can see, especially now, there is a lot going on here. So one thing about this park, I've talked about this before in terms of urban walkability, that type of thing, is it is a really nice urban amenity. It makes downtown nice, especially since, as we saw in an earlier video, you are getting more residential buildings close to downtown. On the other hand, we have this road here. You can see over there cars running by. So when I was actually trying to get to this park, it was actually difficult because the traffic was moving kind of fast and you had to wait for a while for a light. So like with a lot of stuff that's developed to kind of, make good urban spaces, and it is pretty, like all this green space, good place to exercise, you also do have this aspect that, you know, just like I said in Mount Vernon, a lot of things, the downtown is still built around cars, and so even though you can walk here for exercise, getting here, it's kind of discouraging to walk here. But don't let that be too discouraging. It's a nice park. Salem is developing. So I just wanted to show this nice little urban amenity here in Salem on the Willamette River. One last note, I do like to do this. All the drinking fountains work perfectly. And now that the sun is coming out, maybe I'm going to be less grumpy. Nice park. And also, you know, I just mentioned the sun coming out. Right now, it's way less utilized than it usually is because it's a rainy Wednesday morning. Nobody's time to party. Oh, and then one other thing, there is a carousel over there. So one more thing, like, yeah, this is more of a event park with indoor amenities and things like that. But still, I am not going to complain. Okay, and then I am going to complain because right here we can see this is the kind of crowded road I have to cross. And then after I cross that, I'm going back over to the Salem Transit Center. So I hope Riverfront Park here in Salem, Oregon, I hope that was interesting.